Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Jones Strength, aka Coach Jones, coming at you from Inglewood, California, and I'm going to do a video on dead bugs. I got a request on my Instagram post yesterday to demo a dead bug core exercise, and the actual Instagram post was on the correct way and incorrect way to do a forearm plank. And if you're not following me on Instagram, stop sleeping and give me a follow, please. It's Jones_Strength. You would not regret it. So in an improper or an incorrect forearm plank, there's going to be this posture here where the low back is sinking, butt sticking up in the air. It's also known as that. It's an anterior tilt. It's also known as that sway back syndrome. And what's happening is the hip flexors are really tight. There's some overactive muscles. The hip flexors are tight. The low back is tight. Remember, some of those psoas muscles connect to the low back, so they're pulling down, causing the pelvis to actually tilt and the butt stick out. And if you notice, just by doing this, your low back's going to be fired, and that's why those muscles are overactive. They're just kind of always in this position, in a shortened position. So to correct that, you've got to strengthen your glutes, and you've also got to strengthen your abs and your hamstrings. But a dead bug is a good way to strengthen some of those intrinsic core stabilizers. It's very easy exercise to do. I've never actually learned how to do a dead bug, but I've seen them before, and basically from what I've seen, this is basically how I teach my athletes. So you're going to start lying back, and what I usually do is I'll say, okay, knees up, feet on the floor, arch your back. When you arch your back, there's going to be this gap in the small of your back. We got to correct that. That's the anterior tilt. So to correct that, you tuck your hips under. Once you tuck your hips under, you got a nice seal, and there's no space between your low back and the floor. So again, arch, slide the hand through. That's what you don't want. That's the anterior tilt. Tuck the hips under, and literally, if you do this and you're able to fire your core, you're going to feel all these muscles in the front of your core tighten up. That's what's enabling you to posteriorly tilt and tuck the hips under. So from there, we're going to lift one leg up. Let's say it's our right leg. Then the opposite arm is going to be up as well. It's almost like there's a string. So I'm kind of pulling my foot up with my hand. So left hand on the floor, right foot's in the air. Then we're going to switch, keeping that posterior tilt, hips tucked under, abs tight. Now my left foot is up, my right hand is on the floor. So sometimes I'll have people literally just kind of start with this motion here with no arms. That's kind of level 1, basic, beginner level. Level 2 would be to add the arms, but to keep the bottom heel on the floor. And then if you want to make it a little more advanced, then you keep that left foot off the floor. So it kind of targets the core a little bit more, because now you've got to really stabilize your trunk to keep that pelvic tilt, keep the core engaged so your back doesn't start arching. Once your back starts arching, whether you're doing 6 inches, whether you're doing flutter kicks or scissors, that low back is arched. It's like bending a pencil. You bend a pencil, the middle's going to start to arc, and then it's going to break. It's just too much tension on each end. So again, hips under, low back sealed the entire time. We're just alternating, opposite arm, opposite leg. And it's pretty simple. That's a dead bug. Like I said before, the issues are going to lie within strengthening the glutes and the hamstrings and the core. This is just an exercise that's going to help you strengthen your core. And you're going to have to lengthen those overactive muscles. So those hip flexor muscles and the low back, you're going to have to roll those out, stretch those muscles as well to kind of get that pelvis and your spine in more of a neutral position in that forearm plank, which would look like this. So weight shifted forward with the elbows above the shoulders. We don't want the butt sticking out. That's the anterior tilt, low back arch. So we tuck the hips under. Back is nice and flat. Mid-thoracic is flat. Lower lumbar is flat. And this is another core exercise to strengthen those intrinsic core stabilizers. So if you're having issues with planks and you want to get to that level where you can do a plank properly, I suggest trying doing dead bugs, which are going to strengthen the muscles in front of your core. Remember, your core is basically a cylinder. So it's from your armpits to your hips, and it's a cylinder. So it's basically, there's core muscles in the front, you got your rotators, and then you got the core muscles in the back of your body as well. So I hope this helps some people out that have never done dead bugs before. And again, The Instagram is Jones_strength. Peace.